Developing games is an amazing experience. You start with a simple prototype, add sprites and sounds, and later effects and polish. Seeing a project grow like that is what's always drawn me to making games. But adding advanced stuff like procedurally generated dungeons is a massive amount of work. A few years ago, I made a whole tutorial series on something similar, a voxel world generator. Months of work, and at the end we had a really cool looking system. Not a game. This video is about how AI can help you build the hard part, so that you can focus on making your game. We're doing it with the Unity CLI and an AI agent. Previously, to connect an AI agent to Unity, we used Unity MCP. The CLI allows AI agents to directly use all the Unity tools without any extra setup. To make it easy to follow, I've put together a starter project so you can follow along step by step. Grab either the zipped full project and open it directly, or the Unity package and follow the instructions to add the required layers, link in the description. The art is from the CC0 licensed pack, also linked below. When you have it, press play, and you've got a player and slimes attacking you. WASD to move, left mouse button to swing. There's also destructible props and traps that hurts the player and the enemies. Kill the last enemy and it drops a key, then the scene restarts, same if the player dies. To install the CLI, head to the documentation page in the description. Copy the command for your operating system. On Windows, open PowerShell, paste it, hit enter. When it's finished, type unity-help to test. You should get the help file explaining how to use the CLI. If you're not signed in, use this command to authenticate before continuing. Then navigate to your project directory with cd command. For the CLI to manage your editor, we need the pipeline install command. Again, make sure you're in the project directory and run it. When it's done, run Unity pipeline list to test. Your project should show up under the Unity editor instances. In the package manager, you'll see the Unity pipeline package has been added to your project. It's currently in beta. Our project is now ready to be used with Unity CLI. And we actually want our AI agent making use of that CLI. In your AI agent, open your project directory and type. Check if you can use Unity CLI. Start with unity-help and read the available commands. Confirm you can reach the running editor and tell me what it lets you do. It can ask for permission before it runs anything, so allow it. It correctly found the tool. 140 commands. It can read my scene hierarchy, create objects, edit scripts, enter play mode, and deleting assets needs confirmation. That was ChatGPT. Same command in Claude Code, same result. I'm carrying on in Claude Code from here. Before we start, two things. I want Claude to save what it's learned about the Unity CLI, and I want it to stop asking for permission constantly. So, first I will give it a prompt. Save what you have learned into reusable knowledge so you can reuse it when working on all future projects. Okay, saved. Now, to stop it asking for permission, select Auto Mode for future prompts. Alternatively, we can prompt it, add a permission rule so you can run Unity CLI commands without asking me every time, and run. Our goal is a procedurally generated dungeon. One way to do it: pick a random size, pick a random spot on the map, and draw a room there. Now check it against every room you've already placed. Overlapping or just too close? Throw it away and try somewhere else. Fine? Keep it. Repeat until you've got as many rooms as you wanted, or until you've hit some threshold of failures. It's called random placement with rejection. And the rejection part is where you add any other rule that you need to apply. Then you connect them, and there's a trick. Start with one room and call it connected. Now, repeatedly find whichever room sits closest to the group you've already connected and carve a corridor to it. Every new room joins something that's already connected, so the whole dungeon is guaranteed reachable. That's Prim's algorithm. What you get is a minimum spanning tree. We finish by adding enemies, props, and place traps, and we have a decent-looking procedurally generated dungeon. So, in a new session, select Plan Mode and type. Analyze the project. In the current scene, we are adding a procedural dungeon generation system using random room placement with rejection. First, we focus on walls, floors, and moving the player inside the dungeon. All the prompts are available as a PDF linked in the description. In our project, I have prepared a custom rule tile for painting walls, which requires that 2 wall tiles are placed at the top edge. So, to my initial prompt I also add, we are using floor_1 tile for the floor and wall dungeon rule tile for walls. Top wall needs 2 rows of wall dungeon rule tile. Feel free to analyze the test scene and the existing room. We will add details later. Because we already have a test scene, the AI can analyze it. We'll see whether it correctly uses the existing tile maps, level, wall collider, and decorations. Lastly, I add initial min room size is 6 by 6 and max is 12 by 12 floor tiles, and we want to have a minimum of 5 rooms. Stop after 50 failed attempts. We need to be specific about how the procedural generation system should work initially. I'm using Opus, so it's the smarter model for the whole project. You could try a cheaper model like Sonnet to save some tokens, but more often than not, fixing and adjusting its work costs about the same as using the smarter model that does better from the start. In the plan mode, we get some extra questions, so make sure to answer them as best as you can. Here, I want to generate the rooms first. For now, let's clear tile maps and leave objects. When should generation run? I will submit another answer, regenerate instart and add bool flag to select random seed, connect spacebar key to generation logic so I can test generation in play mode. In seed, I will select the first option and submit answers. Be sure to read through the plan. This is the cheapest place to catch a bad assumption and make adjustments. I will actually give it some feedback. Generation should clear the enemies and props parent objects along with the tile maps so nothing survives from a previous layout, so it clears the map when regenerating the dungeon. It's a good plan, so I'll accept it. And switch to auto at the bottom to stop it asking for permission. In a bit, when the agent's done, we should see newly generated rooms. Enemies and props are gone. It implemented a dungeon generator class with a lot of parameters to tweak. In play mode, we can press spacebar to generate new dungeons. Because we gave it a test room to analyze, it correctly added tiles to the wall collider tile map. When we walk around, our player collides with the walls. One problem. The rooms are spread too far with a lot of empty space between them. In the editor, we have plenty of settings to tweak. We could change the bounds, let's try 40 by 40. It creates fewer rooms, but they aren't getting closer together. So let's change the bounds back to 60 by 60. Instead, in our AI agent, let's give it a prompt. After placing the rooms, move them closer to the center, but make sure they still respect the room spacing. When it's done, we can see it added an extra generation pass. Testing the generator now, the rooms are much closer together, which is what we wanted. The room spacing defines the minimum distance in tiles between rooms, so we can modify that as well. Now, let's add corridors. I'll use prompt. Now connect the rooms with corridors. Connect each room to the nearest room that's already connected, so every room is reachable. Corridors must be between 2 and 3 tiles wide, with the range exposed in the inspector. Corridors are floor, so the walls should follow automatically. If you're not using plan mode, try to be as specific as you can. That said, you can always ask the agent to make adjustments later. Here's our result. It mostly looks fine, but the corridors aren't respecting the room spacing that keeps our wall rule tile working correctly. So I'll paste a screenshot of the problem and give the AI this feedback. Corridor walls are sometimes too close to room walls, and our rule tile fails. Expose a separate corridor spacing value, default 1, and make corridor walls respect that distance. The initial implementation failed, so I had to iterate with the agent, but it finally succeeded in implementing the fix. And now all the rooms are connected with corridors without the layout of the walls breaking how the wall rule tile works. Now we also have some extra parameters that defines how the corridors will be added to our level. To finish the generation, we want decorations on the walls at the top, enemies spawned inside the rooms, destructible props, and traps maybe where the corridors are. In the decorations folder, I've pre-made tiles to use, so in Claude I'll type add wall decorations on the decorations tile map, picked randomly from the tiles in the decorations folder. They go only on walls tiles that have floor directly below them. Expose the minimum gap between decorations and the placement density in the inspector. We now have parameters to tweak in the inspector like density and minimum gap, and the generated dungeon now contains the extra decorations. To add enemies, I'll type spawn between 1 and 3 enemy slime inside each room, never in corridors, and keep the player's room empty. Expose the minimum and maximum count in the inspector, parent them to the enemy's object, and call enemy manager.detect all enemies after spawning. Enemy slime is a prefab, the AI should instantiate around the map. And now we should have enemies spawned in each room. And when I kill the last one, the key drops. And picking it up reloads the scene. The original game loop still works. Feel free to take it further, with keys and doors, treasure rooms, or even more enemy prefabs. In this video, we'll just add props and traps to finish the project. So here's the prompt that should let the agent add those elements. Feel free to read the whole thing, but basically I want to randomly place traps inside the corridors. In our project, I have prop_bookshelf, prop_barrel, and prop_table, plus the trap prefab, which needs to be placed on top of a tile. After running this prompt, we should get a dungeon with props, decorations, enemies, and traps placed in the corridors. We can still use spacebar to regenerate and test that everything works as expected. Also, in the inspector we can adjust the dungeon using the available parameters. So that's how you can use AI to build the system that's hard to build, while you can focus on making the game you actually want to create. A procedural generation system that would have taken weeks is done in a day. And if you want to understand it, you can just ask the agent to walk you through it. More importantly, you can now focus back on improving your game. More enemy types, better combat, and stuff that actually makes it yours. This is just one use case for how the Unity CLI can help you. Start a project and all the prompts are linked below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.